Hi, and welcome to Cooking with Chef Tavia. Today, I'm going to be making pan-seared scallops with spaghetti squash and sauteed shrimp. I'm also going to be doing a seafood pan sauce that is going to bring it all together and make it really delicious. To start off, I have 9 jumbo shrimp, and I'm just going to season it with a little bit of salt and pepper because scallops are already naturally delicious, so you just want to flavor it a little bit. I have these really cute mason jars that are salt and pepper shakers. And I'm just going to season it, and I'm going to season it from very high because then it'll touch all the scallops. Now I'm going to do the same as the pepper. Okay. And I'm just going to set that aside until my pan gets really hot. Because scallops have a lot of water in it. So when you sear them, you want to make sure that as soon as you touch the pans, the water cooks out and it's just getting a really nice crust on it. Now, for my for my shrimp, I'm going to season it with salt and pepper as well. And I'm going to do a little bit more seasoning on the, I don't know why I keep saying salmon, on the shrimp because these need a lot more seasoning than scallops do. I'm going to switch that around a little. I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to rinse my hands off really quickly because we don't want any contamination. Now, as my pan is heating up, I'm going to move you guys over here. There you go. As it's heating up, I'm going to add olive oil into it. And you can see that it's starting to smoke, which is perfectly fine. You just don't want it to catch on to fire. Not sure if you guys can see the smoke, but I can, and it's pretty hot. The spaghetti squash is in the oven and it's roasting. It has olive oil, salt, and pepper on it, and I'm going to roast it for about 20 minutes. When you cut into it, you just want to scoop all the seeds out and just season it up and then put it into the oven, and you wrap it in foil so that way it'll steam. So, here are my scallops. I'm going to swish the oil around in the pan. And I'm going to take all of my scallops and I'm going to start at 12 o'clock. Just like that. You want to be very careful with adding them in because it definitely has a really high chance of popping on you. You want to be very careful. Okay. I have one more. And this one is going to go in the very center. Now, as these are searing, you don't want to touch them at all because if you do, then they won't get a good crust on them and then they'll become really watery. As that is sauteing, I want to show you guys the ingredients that I have for my pan sauce. I have a little bit of minced garlic, lemon, onions, heavy cream, some tomatoes that I seeded. I took the seeds out of them, and then I took a circle cutter and just cut them into circles. Pretty simple. Then I have also the shrimp shells that I deveined and peeled the shrimp from, which is going to flavor. It's going to give the sauce a lot of flavor. I'm going to use the same exact pan that I had for my scallops, for my shrimp, and for my pan sauce because then the drippings from the scallops and from the shrimp are all going to come together and be really delicious. I'm going to move you guys back over here. There we go. And I'm going to grab some. You want to keep the heat pretty high. You can check on them. And we're going to sear these for about a minute and a half-ish. So you want to make sure that it's cooked really nicely. You don't want to overcook it because then it'll become rubbery, and you don't want to undercook it because then it'll be chewy. So these are about ready to get turned. They have a beautiful crust, but I'm going to show you guys in just a second. And like I said, when you start at 12 o'clock, you know when to turn all of them. So you want to start at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and so forth and so on. Turn all of them over. It looks really nice. And you want to keep the heat high again to make sure they get a really nice crust on there. Let's show you guys. And there they are. They're really nice and getting really brown, which is exactly what I want. Okay. I'm going to grab a spoon and I'm just going to continue to keep basting it. As much oil that is possibly in the pan. Base it on the one that is not as brown as you would like, and then it'll basically start to cook itself on the top. Like I said, it's going to continue to cook once you turn it, because it's still on high heat and it's still really, really hot. So I'm going to continue to keep cooking that. You don't want to rush them because, like I said, they might come out undercooked, and you don't want to eat undercooked scallops because that's not what we want here. We want perfectly pan-seared and cooked beautifully scallops. If they're sticking to the pan, that means they're not completely seared yet. And if it's still sticking to the pan, even if you think it's completely seared, then that means you didn't put enough oil in the pan and the pan isn't hot enough. I'm going to check on my 12 o'clock. I'm going to turn it a little bit. I'm going to make sure all of them are getting seared beautifully. And as you look into the pan, you can see that the drippings from the scallops are sticking to the pan, which is completely fine because, like I said again, the sauce is going to make it caramelize and make it really delicious. And you're going to get all of that up eventually. Okay, so I'm going to take these off. And I'm going to show you guys what the beautiful syrup on these look like. They look absolutely stunning. I'm not sure if you guys can see it as well, but I'm going to give you guys a quick look at it. And these are really, really juicy, which is exactly what we want. Oh. And scallops are really delicate, so one or two might fall apart, but that's perfectly fine. And as you can see, the pan is still really, 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 really hot. And there's the scallops. So the next thing we're going to do for the pan is add our shrimp in. I'm just going to dump all of them in, just like that. Pretty simple. And I'm just going to cook it up really nicely. I'm going to grab an oven mitt because this is really hot since it is still. Stir all of them around. And the shrimp might actually pick up majority of those drippings anyway. So it's really not that big of a deal, like I said. Okay. I'm going to add a little bit more olive oil into the pan. And while that is cooking up, those only take like 3 to 4 minutes to cook. While those are cooking up, I'm going to grab my spaghetti squash out of the oven. And be very careful when pulling them out because they are really hot. And they might also contain some juice in it because of the fact that we were steaming it, of course. And those shrimp are looking delicious. So I'm going to stick you guys right there again. I'm going to move the plate out the way. Grab a cutting board. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to gently unravel it without burning my hand possibly. It looks absolutely delicious. Just sit that there for a quick second. Be very careful, like I said, because it's really, really hot. I'm going to do this to both of them. This one is a lot hotter on the top because I wrapped it in a lot more foil. And there you go. As you guys can see, they're really juicy and really pretty. Now, I'm going to stir my shrimp. Mix these up. These need about 1 more minute then they'll be cooked beautifully. We're going to stir this into our spaghetti squash. So it really doesn't matter. They're going to continue cooking as we stir it through the spaghetti squash since those are really hot. Okay, put that right there. This one. And I'm going to grab 2 forks. I already have one that I used earlier for the spaghetti squash. And I'm just going to pull it away. Just keep pulling. Get the side as well. Pull it down. And I'm going to be sauteing this and adding it into our sauce, so it's going to cook more anyway. Continue to keep scraping. Okay. You guys pretty much can see how spaghetti squash works and why it has that name spaghetti squash, because it's really stringy, just like spaghetti noodles. Okay, I'm going to leave that right there for a quick second and go back to my shrimp. I'm going to pull these out and place these in a bowl. Okay. Be very careful. They're really, really hot. And the scallop juice is just letting them, when cooking scallops, when you pull them out, you want to let those rest and let the juice absorb back into the scallops. I'm going to add a little bit more olive oil back into the pan so I can saute my onions. Toss those right on in. I'm also going to toss in some minced garlic. I'm just going to grab the spoon and stir that up. Like so. Very careful. I'm sure you guys can see that smoke. Yeah. I'm going to turn it down just a tad. I'm still going to keep it on high heat though. I know you guys are probably thinking she has the heat too high. I actually don't, because once the sauce gets in here, it's going to start to simmer, and that's what we want. The onions are already starting to pick up all of the scraps from the scallops and from the shrimp. Continue to keep stirring that. I'm just going to let that sweat down while I finish pulling